بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Islam.
How are you, Brother Yusuf?
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be with us today.
No problem.
And Jazakallah khair for the interview last, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the day of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we all know the outcome of that.
Barakallah fi, yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And, got some comments from people that, they told me, subhanAllah, something, your story is unique. Like everyone, every convert story to Islam is unique. And I think the last we talked about was, the spiritual aspect, of coming into Islam. Since then, though, I guess since we did that interview, what have been some of the thoughts that you've been thinking about since we did that last interview?
One of the things that have been in my thoughts, actually, I was thinking about right after we did that interview was, I remember a few weeks beforehand, we had Sister Lauren Booth come into our masjid and talk about her experience. Alhamdulillah, how she related it to us through her eyes.
Right.
And one of the things that she stated that made it kind of aware to me was she said that there was a point in your life where you kind of it's like the climax. It's like that's the turning point where you're just like I just need this, and your whole life changes from then on.
Okay.
So
how did that, I guess, what did that make you think, about what went on in your life? Like, for instance, one of the things you mentioned that was interesting, because, we have like some of the brothers and sisters at ICNA, Islamic Circle of North America. They have a project called whyislam.org.
Yes.
And Jazakumullah khair, and they do outreach throughout the United States. They put up, billboards, and they have the website where if anyone, wants learn more about Islam, they can go to Why Islam. Also, ICNA has a project in Chicago where they have, instead of Why Islam, they have gainpeace.com. And same thing. You can call the website, ask for a copy of the Quran, and talk to someone to learn more about Islam. You mentioned something, at the end of the last interview. You said that it wasn't so much about why, but it was about when.
Yes.
So could you go into that?
Well, before I stated that, I also said that most people always, when it comes to faith, the first question they ask is why. Why certain things happen in their life, why certain things are placed, before them and then after them. And for me, honestly, as a growing up as a Christian, and then later becoming an atheist, it was always why. It was always as a question as why is this happening? Why does this happen after? And I didn't know how to answer that. And the point is, in Islam, what I learned is that it's no longer about asking why, because if you read, there's something called istikhara, which is the prayer of guidance, as you can call it. Alhamdulillah, it talks about Allah knows and we know not. And that's something that I actually finally understood when, for example, I had to go through a myriad of events with my health, also with good opportunities, for example, being with CARE, alhamdulillah, and then also working with our masjid and our youth. So definitely that idea of why it became a small facade, it's faded away, and then when it became the prominent question, because then I just want to know when's the right time, when is this time to grow, when is this time to take this step, and alhamdulillah, so far it's been great, even through the bad, I've learned. So alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah, that's great. You mentioned that you were Christian,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess a number of us in the community, we thought maybe you were Christian and then you became Muslim, but you
Yes.
mentioned now that you were Christian and then you became atheist.
Yes.
Okay, so can you, I guess, explain what happened then?
So when there was a point in my youth where I was questioned for my faith. When I was younger as a Christian, I was always very focused on like I stated last time, my literature and everything. It was great. I love being the son of a pastor because I have all this had all this resource. Like I was able to attain all these books, these literature, and I was able to, you know, absorb it and learn. And one of the things that frustrated me was I was going to this church, and one of the pastors there didn't see me fit as like to be in a leadership position. I was young, and I was offered the position of being a young adult, like a teacher or somebody who expresses the faith. So when that happened, I guess he took it upon the board to tell them that I wasn't ready. And when that happened, I just didn't feel strong in my faith. I started doubting things. I started becoming like, if my faith is dependent on age, or is it dependent on, like, you know, somebody else's opinion, how am I able to get closer to my faith? You know, like it doesn't mean I wanted more status. I wanted more opportunity. And it led me astray to the point where I became an atheist.
Why did so? But why did so you felt that they were not, you know, or he didn't want to appoint you to that role simply because of your age?
Yes.
And no other reason?
Well, I wouldn't know why. I mean, I've never asked him. And one of the things that I do know for sure, though, is that, I mean, I was young. You know, I had a lot of expectations. You know, when you're younger, you have a lot of things and dreams and goals that you want to attain, and that was one of them for me. Is just get closer to my I guess dean, or my soul, but I couldn't, and I felt that was just a negative part where I just fell apart, and I started, you know, looking more into the science and less into my faith. I started like dissolving myself. I started doubting my doubting my father's, you know, preachings, and, you know, we would argue at times, and he wouldn't agree, and I would, you know, question him. So
What were some of the teachings that you guys were arguing about?
Jesus being the Son of God. You know, in science terms, like a body is particularly made, a human body is made of certain elements, and there's certain things that it can't surpass, or it can't be lower than. So like basically what that meant to me was that how can a man be given such infinite power? It just didn't seem possible. So
okay, you know, some thoughts that came, you know, because you look, you know, when we read the Quran about like the stories of the prophets, some of them, alayhim salatu salam, you know, may God's peace and blessings be upon them all, some of them, like Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu salam, Prophet Yahya alayhi salatu salam, they were given, you know, the responsibility. They were chosen when they were youth, and that's what's beautiful about Islam. It has, you know, the criterion for leadership has no age requirement. You know, if a person, you know, is immature and makes those decisions when his brain, you know, to take responsibility, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help him. You know, and that's what's beautiful about Islam. And I guess with saying that, maybe you can, I guess, what messages maybe can you say, or advice could it be for the youth? Because, you know, there's so many youth, you know, around the globe, and, you know, they look to their elders for leadership, and, you know, they start to, you know what I'm saying? And of course, and then there's some youth, they say, no, I want to be connected to God now, because they're smart. They say, you know what? No one can guarantee their life. No one can guarantee I'm going to live forever. I can die at any moment, you know, and we all want to be in a state where, you know, God is pleased with us.
I think the idea is that when somebody's older, they feel a little more superior to their youth. I'm not talking about me in particular. I'm talking about like all kinds of youth in particular, because I know if anybody was to come across somebody who's, you know, young, and they have like this like bright like light to them, like they're like always doing the right thing, they're always doing this, like then they start questioning or doubting them, and it becomes no longer like, oh, this child or this youth member of our community is not oh, this is not about him being in line with God. This is, what is he doing this for? So, and who's he trying to attract? And that's the thing. Like, I think as either role models or even members of the community, we need to like like uphold those youth. We need to provide like instead of like derive. We need to be able to like give them opportunities instead of like deprive them of such things.
Okay, excellent. What are some of, I guess, the opportunities that we as, American Muslims, we can do, I guess, starting off with our fellow Muslim youth, because, you look at an example. Alhamdulillah, we have, a lot of youth in this community, and, the parents and the elders and, individuals like yourself that are involved with the youth. We want to do so much so we can, to help the youth, love Islam and help them with their challenges. What are some of the things you're hearing about, youth of today, for instance, in 2013, it's a new century, new decade, and what are some of the challenges that you hear that they're going through, and what are some of the things we, the adults, and some of the elders, we can do to help them?
Well, are you talking about particular like Muslim youth, or?
Yeah, well, let's start off, I guess, first the Muslim youth.
Okay. Let me give you an example. During Ramadan, we had a lot of members of our youth. Me and Brother Ashfaq, what we did is we upheld the responsibility of having them with us and like taking care of them while the adults or the parents were praying Taraweeh at the masjid. One of the things that like we could tell that really bothered, us. And we're youth, but also we're adults. And one of the things that bothered us is that much of these youth were told not to run, not to play around, not to do this, not to do that. And one of the things I remember the hadith, like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to pray, and when he prayed, like there used to be children jumping on his back and pulling on his beard, and he would keep praying, and at the end he would offer them dates. And one of the things he stated that was really beautiful was that, how do we expect to keep future generations in the masjid if we don't make them feel comfortable coming to the masjid? And so that's one of the things that this youth is struggling, is that we never give them that opportunity. We need to give them that chance where they feel, okay, this is the house of God, this is the masjid, but they need to feel like this is also your house as well. Come and praise Allah in your own way. Obviously, children, one of the things that as adults that we no longer have is that beautiful mind of imagination. And, these kids have like ideas and like opportunities waiting to happen, and they're not taken seriously. I think one of the things that we need to do as a community is maybe just support and maybe extend our ear more to them.
Okay, so more outreach for youth.
Yes, I would say more outreach and more program building, more leadership building. Have them not on our agenda, right, but on their agenda. Have the most prominent ones of their youth, of their age, right, be put in leadership positions, and inshallah that way they can form themselves. They can grow within themselves. We don't have to pressure them in a certain angle. Right.
And you mentioned I'm just going to turn the camera for a minute. If you can turn the camera, Asil, and we're with Ashfaq's brother. It's just to see Ashfaq. No, stay there, Ashfaq. Okay, go ahead, put it on Ashfaq because we just want to say keep it there, and then just turn it. And then so everyone can say hi to Ashfaq.
Ashfaq,
yeah. Yeah, keep going. And then because we know Ashfaq was in an accident, and alhamdulillah, he's back with us, alive, alhamdulillah, and healthy. So Ashfaq, real quickly for the viewers, especially in the community, tell us how you feeling.
Alhamdulillah, it's getting better now.
Alhamdulillah.
In the beginning, it was a little bit too much pain, I would say. But now, as it's healing, alhamdulillah, it's getting better.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, and real quickly, what are the what part of the body is healing?
It's my lower back area.
Okay.
Right leg. Lots of broken bones.
Okay. Well, inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you shifa, inshallah, and you're one of our youth leaders, so we're waiting for you to come back, inshallah. Soon, inshallah. Okay, so back with Brother Yusuf. Okay, so Yusuf, now I guess we want to get back to your personal journey, and the continual journey, especially about the spiritual aspect. Mm-hmm. And and now of course people that are going to be watching this, they're of all ages.
Yes.
Teenagers, parents, grandparents,
seniors, yes,
seniors, everyone. Mm-hmm. So I guess in choosing Islam, I mean, what was it that helped you come to that decision that you said Islam is for me? What were some of the things that attracted you to Islam, as well as saying that you want to become a Muslim?
I think one word that screams at me, alhamdulillah, it's a lifestyle. And let me just give you a quick example. My grandmother was in the hospital last week, and she fell and broke her foot. And last Saturday, alhamdulillah, I spent 12 hours with her in the hospital, and not once did I speak about faith or Islam or anything. And then at the end, she asked me, why haven't you talked to me about faith or anything? I mean, through all the time we were laughing, through all the time we were like talking, why didn't you mention this once? And I was like, because, and grandma in Spanish is abuelita. I told abuelita because, I'm not here to tell you or show you anything. That's up to you to decide. At the end, she asked me to bring our Quran for the next following meet. The thing that I've learned is that like a Muslim is not a matter of words. It's not a man of words. It's not a woman of words. It's not a child of words. It's not an elder person in the community of words. It's not somebody who speaks and you hear, or somebody who just it's not an assumption. Islam is a lifestyle. It's a way of life. It's your actions that derive you. Say it before you eat Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, or anything, going into a house, or walking out of a house, or it's like a constant reminder, and not for anybody else to see. It's just between you and Allah.
Okay, so alhamdulillah, that's something very beautiful and something we learn from. So if people right now, I guess, are in a point in their life and they're saying, you know what, I want to experience change, and I want to get close to God.
Mm-hmm.
How can Islam, or what does Islam have to offer me if I want to, get on that track that, you're on that track where you said now you feel, this oneness with God and closeness with God in your lifestyle, versus what Judaism or Christianity or Buddhism or Hinduism, because they all, advocate their own lifestyles. What is it about the lifestyle of Islam?
Regard of every faith, I think alhamdulillah all faiths are beautiful, and all people are beautiful. But one of the things that I think is first you have to accept the challenge. Accept the challenge that, it's not just things you do. It's not just things you're told. It's not, don't drink alcohol because, that's it, halas, you're not supposed to do anything. I think it's find your answers wisely, like attain that knowledge, apply it to your life. It's for the best, people always, assume that they're going to be forced to do something a certain way or a certain aspect just because, these people believe a certain way, and, never once do they think like maybe this is for the best of me. And as a Muslim, and before I was a Muslim, when I look at it now, this is the best for me. And I'm not talking about everybody, in general, but I'm talking about for myself. Alhamdulillah, this is what, I never expected it, but it's still far beyond I've ever imagined. And it's the best for me. And, I can only look forward to what's to come.
Inshallah. Okay. Brother Yusuf, salam, jazakallah khair, for taking the time, and Ashfaq and Brother Asian who takes us. Asian, why don't you sit here so everyone over here, so I can at least get you, and they can say hi to you. So, how did you like taping the interview, Asian?
Good.
Good. Good experience.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Okay, so inshallah we'll put this online. Now, Brother Yusuf, if they want to get in touch with you, I guess we'll put your email, in their information,
Mm-hmm.
and if people have follow-up questions, and alhamdulillah, you're here in Belmont, California with us, and so until next time, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for everyone,
Ameen.
to attain happiness and peace and attain the truth, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.